Since we, America, want to relegate Black History Month to just 1 month, let's take a trip down some history, okay? So I want y'all to pay attention to this short clip right here, then we're going to talk about it afterwards because this is history that definitely is not taught in school, nor was I taught this in college. So let's just take a trip and we're going to discuss some things after y'all hear this. So just wait.
You are a natural born public speaker, and that's a fact.
Do you actually feel guilty or were you just told to feel guilty?
Focus on actually what we can do.
Point it out and show it to me.
You have the freedom to do what you want to and be what you want to in America. What are we going to do about it?
What oppressed me?
Just saying.
So the CRT stuff, BS.
This 1872 print by Currier and Ives shows the first 7 Black Americans elected to the United States Congress. All 7 were Republicans. From the left side of the picture, we have Hiram Revels of Mississippi. As an ordained minister, Hiram served as a missionary and pastor, recruited 3 Black regiments in the Union Army, and was a chaplain during the Civil War. Revels became America's first Black United States Senator. Next is Benjamin Turner of Alabama. Turner was a slave during the Civil War, but within 5 years after the Civil War, Turner became a wealthy and prosperous businessman. Next is Robert DeLarge of South Carolina. DeLarge was born a slave, but within 3 years after the Civil War, DeLarge was serving in the State House. He also chaired the Republican Party's Platform Committee and became a statewide elected official. Next is Josiah Walls of Florida. Walls was a slave during the Civil War and was forced to fight for the Confederate Army. However, after he was captured by Union troops, he immediately enlisted as a Union soldier and even became an officer. After his election to the United States Congress, his credentials were challenged by the Democrats, and he was twice sent home. Walls was reelected after the first challenge, but during the second challenge, the Democrats gained control of Florida, and Walls was prevented from returning. Next is Jefferson Long of Georgia. Born as a slave, Long was self-educated and built a thriving business. However, when elected to the United States Congress as a Republican, the Democrats boycotted his business, causing him great financial losses. Long was the first Black American to deliver a congressional speech in the House of the United States Congress. Next is Joseph Rainey of South Carolina. Born a slave, Rainey served briefly as Speaker of the United States House and was in Congress longer than any other Black American from that era. Seventh is Robert Elliot, also of South Carolina. Elliot was well educated, reading in Spanish, French, and Latin. In Congress, Elliot led to the passage of civil rights bills over the violent opposition of congressional Democrats, and he later became Speaker of the House in the state legislature. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the first Black senator and representatives of the United States of America.
All right, so with that being said, and you guys saying this, you guys are somebody was in those wondering what these streamers were. Well, it says happy birthday on it, celebrate, blah blah blah, y'all that good stuff, because I turned 40. That's another story. We're going. That's not for this topic. But isn't it amazing that what we just got done hearing, this was not taught in school. This was not taught in school. See, what I like about this, just told it straightforward. Some were slaves. You heard all these different backgrounds, how they were nominated in there. Now, there's a few things that makes makes my brain kind of twist, kind of think. Why were the Black people that started to get into office, why were they Republican? Why did they decide to go Republican? Does that make sense to any of you? Black people, after slavery was ending, Civil War and all that, some of them were slaves. They decided to go Republican. Is it because, I don't know, the Republicans damned slavery? Is it because the Republicans were so racist that they just want to say, okay, just so we can virtue signal, we're going to just nominate these black folk into office to show that we're working on it. I don't know if y'all noticed, but the fact that there was white people willing to kill other white people to free black people should let you know something. The big question, and you're probably going to see this in a different series of videos that I'm going to do on here. Why aren't we being told this in school? I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about white people too, because there are a lot of you white people that don't know this. There's a lot of Asian people that don't know this. Why isn't this being told? When you hear stories like this, when you hear things about these black men, extraordinary black men, y'all, there are so much more details to these men. If you go and read their memoirs, their bibliography, there is so much more things to these men. Very smart, intelligent, very articulate men. The way that they spoke, I mean, it's like that type of stuff that you hear like in, I don't know, those English movies. Do not bestow upon me thy benevolence. And I mean, these dudes spoke eloquently, like holy smokes. But see, the issue that a lot of evil will find behind this is that it puts something out there that a lot of people will be really inspired by. That's hope. Absolutely hope. They became prominent men. They got in office during a time where racism systemically, big time then, was there. And these men still happen to get into some very high calling positions that required a lot of responsibility. Can you imagine the things that these men probably went through, knowing their lives can be risked, knowing they could be killed, knowing their family lives can be risked, even just extended family? These men got into office and represented, man, big time, not just black folks. They got nominated there because they were fit for the job. But today's world will try to turn it around and twist it and say, no, they only got nominated because Republicans only felt that no. But also, why did these men go Republican? I asked that earlier. Why did these men decide to go Republican? Let me ask you a question. If somebody fought to save your life because they wanted you to be just as equal as them, how would you not choose to want to be with them? It had nothing to do with, oh, we're choosing to be with white people, because they were already enslaved by white people. It comes down to what I always say: righteousness, truth. Truth is, those black people were just as smart, just as articulate, just as intelligent. Truth. Righteousness. Enslavement was completely wrong. The way that they were treated, the way the black people were treated, was completely wrong. White people saw that. White people put something together called the Underground Railroad. White people were helping black people escape. White people were encouraging black people to run for office. White people were encouraging black people to be just as equal as they are. White people were encouraging black people to do the same as they did. Get your land. Farm it. Take care of it. Raise your family on it. Now, folks are like, well, you mean, did they encourage black people to have slaves? There were black people that had slaves, but we're not going to go there. But my point is, because it's all about these men right now. Things like this really inspire me. Things like this gives you hope. You want to know why? Because it shows you that despite of the evil and all the bad things that were going on there, black people were still rising. Black people were still doing well. And that's what makes me so just like, I can't take no excuses in today's world. We have it better. We have it way better than what these men did back then. But we want to cry and act like we're being tortured and act like we're being hunted and act like we're being hung and burned and all this stuff, acting like the KKK is coming for us in this day like those men did then. Did y'all know that during this time that a lot of blacks were starting to get into office, especially down there in the southern areas, Virginia, South Carolina, whatever, in the southern areas? Did you know that even down there in the Mississippi areas, even down, I'm going a little bit ahead of years, but did you know that during the time that the KKK was being a strong arm, being the murderers for the Democratic Party, yes, the Democratic Party formed the KKK. That's history. That's history, plain and simple. KKK was invited by the president marching on the Capitol. I mean, they were marching there in Washington, D.C., just there marching in the road. Woodrow Wilson looked at black people like they were monkeys. But I'm gonna save that for another time. So my point in saying that, though, is this. Did you know that during the reign of the KKKs did not only kill black people? The KKKs also killed white people who had anything to do with helping black people. White people that were encouraging black people to fill out a ticket to run for office. I'm sorry that I had to break this up a little bit right now. I know you're like, what in the world is going on? But do me a favor. Do not forget to subscribe. Subscribe, because people are being unsubscribed from my channel. I know I just made this short thing. Y'all see my little dancing character up there telling y'all to do it. You can pause this video right now and just click the subscribe button and hit the bell notification. It'll go ding. I made the little animation for that too. That means anytime I post a video, you will know about it. Okay? So make sure you do that. And also do not forget, if you would like to donate to the channel, that's how you do it right there. Pause this video. You can type this in. If you want to donate to the channel through PayPal, there you go. If you would like to join me on Patreon to support me, do it right there. Listen, if you do, great. If you don't, great. If you want to send gifts to where they would be displayed right here in the background, right here, as y'all can see, send it to that address right there, that P.O Box, 214 North Franklin Street. Send it to that P.O Box, okay? Just want to throw that out there with y'all, all right? Peace. White people were being lynched. White people were being burned. White people were being hung, just like black people were, because they did not want blacks to be their equal. And if you cannot see, and I'm not saying all Democrats, but can you not see that that's what the Democrats' game has always been? They will hate anything to try to push you to be equal. They will hate anything that will push you to do and fulfill your whole potential that's within you. That's what they would do. That's why they come up with these crazy rhetorics, these crazy narratives to keep you down, because they, in fact, are the ones that do not want you to be equal. Then why you have another party who's saying not you just don't have the potential to be equal to me, but you are equal to me. We hold these true self-evidence that all men are created what? You know, the thing. No, anyway. But no, that's what I'm saying, that all men are created equal. There's a party that don't think that you are created equal. That's why they come up with these crazy scenarios. That's why they come up with these crazy psychological synopses that's being played on the whole world to keep you in this victim mind mentality, so that you will never, ever want to even think about coming close to being successful. Not just money. We're talking just successful in life, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. They want to keep on pushing this thing down like you're just a victim. You're so bad. Everything is downtrodden. Oh, my God, the black people. Oh, look what's happened. Disenfranchised. They play the game to make you cry. I said this. You know what this is? It's the equivalence of someone who keeps on giving you a positive feedback loop for something that's completely negative that will keep you there. So an example, my nephew, his parents thought for a minute that it was always funny that they would have him say F-U-B to somebody. But because he couldn't say it, he'd go patu bit. And then whenever he would do it, they laughed at it. So he was doing something that did not benefit him at all. But because they found it funny, he thought it was something that was good. So he kept on doing that. And eventually he said it to the wrong person and he got in trouble. And while he was getting in trouble, he couldn't understand what was going on. He was sitting there getting spanked and going, patu bit. He's trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? Right? So what am I saying that for? You can be encouraged. You can be made to feel good about something. You can be made to, somebody's there with you because we're downtrodden. And then yeah, that's right. But you ain't got nowhere. You still where you are because they have trained you to point the finger at the white man. They train you to point the finger at the system. They train you to point the finger that saying that white people forever got something inside of them that they'll never be able to get out. Number one, if you are a Christian or a minister, that you need to really think about some of the stuff you say when it comes to this. Because if God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever what? Right? Jesus died for everybody, not just black people. for anybody to say, let's just say hypothetically, if a white person, and we said hypothetically now because we know this is not true, but if white people all are inherently racist, what if these white people asked the Lord for forgiveness and the Lord said, it's washed away, it's done, it's over with, your sins are forgiven, you repented from it? How dare anybody come and tell you that you're still wrong? When it comes down to it, folks, the end game is always going to be evil in this world going against the people of God. It always has been. Don't worry. The more I get to uncovering this stuff, I'll show you how our forefathers was about God. But anyway, I just want to throw that out there real quick as a short history lesson. We're going to keep this thing going. I might do another one tonight. I don't know. I'm just going to do these as they come since we're in this month, because a lot of people don't know about this. There's some really exciting ones that I want to bring forth to you guys. So anyway, let me know what y'all think about leaving in the comments below to this video. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing, and most of all, I hope and pray every last one of you guys are in great health. God bless you all through Jesus. What is going on, folks? Appreciate you guys watching. Do me a favor, if you're trying to get to the next reaction video that I did after this video, it's right here. But if you're trying to get to my own personal stuff where I do a lot of comedy things that make you laugh and help brighten your day, then you click right here, all right? And if you want to subscribe to this channel, you forgot to get to know who I am first, all right? Then you're going to click right here to lead you into this subscription. Make sure you hit the bell notifications to get notified anytime I post a video, all right? Peace.